Hi, I'm Kay from Studio 33 Art by Kay. Now today what I'd like to do is use a 150mm by 150mm ceramic tile. It's a gloss tile, but it could be a matte finish tile as well. It doesn't matter as long as it's not rough. And what I want to do today is, I had been told that metallic paints make better cells or easier cells than do paints that aren't metallic. So I'm going to do a little experiment today and going to put all metallic paints on one tile and use the Global Cell Activator, which is mixed with Australian Floetrol, 1 part paint to 4 parts Floetrol. And then I'm going to do another tile with all non-metallic paints so that I can see the difference between the two, if there is any difference. So without further ado, I'll get on with it. I'm trying to make it not as long a video. I keep saying that, but they keep on getting long, so sorry about that. So the first one I'll do the metallics. Now I've done a drip test already. As you can see, I've just dripped a little paint on each colour on there, and the turquoise has run a little bit longer, but it's not too bad. They're all pretty close to being the same. Okay, so we'll start with Global Metallic Cyan. Now I'm just going to drizzle these paints all over the tile. I haven't put a base down because I intend to get all these colours completely covering the tile. You can put a base down if you like. It just depends how much paint you're thinking of putting on there. Sometimes it's nice just to have a base down and just a little bit of colour on there to bring your base through. And this next one is Global Metallic Fuschia. I will list all the colours in the drop down description box for you. And I'm just going to basically use this chevron pattern to cover the tile. And we've got Global Metallic Lavender. So today I've decided to use all global paints just to keep the brand consistent, no other reason. So this is not a scientific experiment. It's not under lab conditions or anything. This is just me playing with paint and having a look to see what happens. So this one's Global Metallic Blue. Now I'm just trying to fill in any of the little gaps there so that we've got a completely covered tile. Don't think the colours are looking too gorgeous yet. And the yellow is actually a Global Cool Yellow, which I've mixed with metallic pearl to make a metallic, because I didn't have a metallic yellow. So you can mix your non-metallics with a metallic to get a metallic. Always make sure you put enough paint all the way to the edges so that when you spin out, the edges are completely covered nicely. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to use my cell activator, which is the Global Black, and I'll use the card sideways so that it will cover better. I usually put about 2 centimeters worth of width of paint on there. About that much, if you can see. Move that out of my way. And actually, before I do that, I'll just hit this with the heat embossing tool just to burst any bubbles. So there was a few bubbles in there, so that was worth doing. So now here we go. How are the metallics going to go with regard? Now I know this Global Cell Activator does create cells, so that's one thing. And you just got to use the lightest touch. As you can see at the beginning there, I must have pressed on the side too hard, or didn't make contact probably. Probably didn't make contact properly, and so the cell activator hasn't gone onto there. But wow, cell's all right. So now I'm just going to take a fresh side of the card, playing card. I just bought these playing cards very cheaply online. I think I bought 10 packets at a time, and they're just a really good way. Kathleen Miller uses the playing cards. You can use soft plastic cell divider, or sometimes people use a trowel or something like that. So it's just up to you to work it out what works best for you. So now once again, hopefully I'll do this side a little bit better at the top. So just very lightly touching down, and just a feather's touch to come all the way. But wow, have we got some cells. And don't scrape it off at the end, just keep pulling straight out as if you were still going on the tile, just to keep that flowing down. Well, we've certainly got lots of cells going on here, and I haven't even touched it with the embossing tool yet. So I'll just hit it with the embossing tool just to see what other cells it might bring up. So as you can see, and I will bring this into a close-up when I'm editing the video, that has got a gazillion cells in there. So where the cell activators hit at the top here, we've got lots of larger cells, and then they've gone smaller as it's gone down. So that's proven that. So now, I don't think I want to do the spin out yet, because the point is to prove that it does create great cells with the metallics. So I'll just move this out of the way, and I'll do the other one so we can do a comparison next to each other. Right, so I've prepared this tile. I don't think I mentioned that before. I just prepare these tiles just by using some isopropyl alcohol and a wipe, and just wipe over it. That's all the preparation you need to do. So now we'll load these paints on, which are non-metallic, so the Global Turquoise. And I'll just do the same pattern, so I'll just speed this little bit of the video up for you. Okay, so that's all our paints laid down, and now I'm just going to do the same swipe, and it'll be exciting to see what we actually get. So same thing, just applying about 2 centimeters of the cell activator. Rightio. Here we go. Feather light touch. No pressure. And just slowly moving down the full length of the tile. And off. Wow, so we're still getting a lot of nice cells coming up there, regardless of not being metallic. And we'll just put some more paint on this other clean side of the playing card. And down we go again. Just a light touch. And keep moving until it just falls off. Well, so we've got a lot of cells there again. They do look slightly different. I will hit this now with the heat gun. So to be honest, I think it's got as many cells on it as what the metallics did. So I'll bring the other one back now. I'll just move this one over. Have a nice messy little puddle there. Excuse me for stretching in front of you. So there we go. I'm noticing that the metallic cells have sort of started to blend more. They're not as defined. And I'll just hit them again with the heat. Hitting it with the heat then did define the cells a bit more, but I can see that they've really got very fuzzy edges on them. So that's what the metallics do, is give you that more of a fuzzy edge, whereas the non-metallics have got a very clear boundary. So when you're doing your paintings and you've got metallics in there and you've also got non-metallics, when you see that sort of more of a fuzzy look, that's your metallics doing that apparently. So I'm going to leave that here. I am going to go on now and just do a rec and a spin, but you don't need to see that part. The main part was just to see this. I will put the end result up for you though, but I just wanted to keep this video to a quick one. So hope that was helpful for you today, and that you've learned something by looking at that. And we'll see you back at Studio 33 before long. Thanks guys, bye. Right, both quite nice, but very different, very different. So I wouldn't say, in conclusion, I wouldn't say that the metallics have given better cells at all. In fact, the cells are quite fuzzy, and the non-metallic has got much more definition. So at least you can see how the two different types of paint react. So it helps you when you're putting your metallics in with your non-metallics. You can see, you know, what reaction those metallics are having. The metallics are generally semi-transparent as well, which is why I suppose they're not as sharp too. Okay, so I'll leave you with that to make your own conclusion, what you like and what you don't. Hopefully you've learned something there today, and I'll bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so here's number one, which was my metallics. It's certainly got lots of cells. They're just not very clearly defined. And here's the non-metallics, which are obviously a lot more defined. Okay, so I went on and did a few little balloon kisses on there. Just couldn't help myself. So when you see the still photos at the end, you'll know how they got there, so that they didn't just suddenly appear on their own. Okay, bye.